Hey everyone, I'm Charting Man Day with the Chart Guys. Euphoria is reaching the masses. I've started to get a couple of texts. That doesn't mean we're going to top today or tomorrow, but it definitely means we are in big time euphoria with Bitcoin and crypto leading the way over the weekend. We've got a lot to check in on. Let's get to it. All right, so S&P 500 new all-time high today, and not a lot of follow through because we have our extremely bullish, perfect rotation going on. So the S&P 500 pretty much flat. That's because semis and the NASDAQ were pulling down and the financial sector and IWM were going up. This is what QQQ looked like on the open, 5-minute waterfall dump. And this is what XLF looked like on the open, 5-minute blue sky breakout, went up plus 2%, while the NASDAQ was down, 0.5%. And that leads to ideal rotation, exactly what the bulls want to be seeing. So eventually we're going to see daily consolidation and we're going to scout higher lows. The S&P 500 bulls will hope to hold the previous all-time high resistance zone as support. The NASDAQ futures chart started daily consolidation, although no follow-through. If it is going to follow through, might have to be a 4-hour head and shoulders. But again, then we just do our back burners. Back burners are working all over the market. And crypto over the weekend, just another shining star example. But we're going to look for NASDAQ. If we head towards hourly oversold, did we get there? We didn't get there, did we? I was doing a live stream on crypto. Check that out. If you're interested in the crypto market, it was a good one. That's on our YouTube channel now. We didn't get close to hourly oversold. But keeping an eye out. I'm in a little bit of protection, just knowing daily consolidation is inevitable, feeling the euphoria with different accounts hitting all-time highs and all that. So a little bit protective, but not much. Bears have a lot of proving to do, and they're non-existent right now as far as the market as a whole. Semiconductors, SMH double topped at multiple month highs and did see a solid pullback today. So I'll be paying attention to that. It's clearly the weakest sector, just chopping around not the weakest, but one of them, chopping around sideways over the last almost 2 months. But again, bulls will take sideways. You go sideways while another sector runs up, and then the other sector consolidates and sideways breaks bull. That's ideal scenario. Just want to talk a little bit about, I got a text from my neighbor the other day. I've never been in markets, but I have some money and, I'm thinking of putting money in markets right now. And my response to him is, it prompted me to post on Facebook, keeping in mind my Facebook friends are not in the markets. But today it was stock and crypto markets are in euphoria mode after an extremely strong year, which means people who don't usually hear about them will. And they will have the desire to buy in and not miss out. The time to buy is during fear, not euphoria. I will be looking to sell in the coming months to have cash to buy the next wave of fear whenever that is. Markets cause inexperienced people to act on emotions at the wrong times. We have to rewire our brain to fend off those emotional triggers. Blah, blah, blah. And opposite end of that, 2018 was saying the opposite. Anyone 50 years older and at 50 years old and under, this is what we're waiting for stock market to be building long-term positions. Fear and euphoria. Do I want to be buying long-term in fear? No, I want to be selling. Yes. I want to be selling long-term in euphoria. I want to be buying long-term in fear. We have to rewire our brains. This is not the market to be scouting long-term entries. That's what 2022 was for. So, I know most of you know that, but convey that to your friends because your friends are going to be the ones that buy the top of Bitcoin if you don't help them. And family. Tesla. So Tesla with a big gap up open. I was shorting it today because I look for gaps to mark exhaustion tops. You look at the daily candle and say, short didn't go very well, but it actually did go very well. And I'm going to be looking again tomorrow. And I'm just looking for daily consolidation. I'm looking for, if we head to hourly oversold, I'm looking for a daily higher low. So I'll be looking short and then I'll be looking long. But ended up with a good amount of day trading today. Had a good position here, exit partial, exit some more, get stop out my runner, re-enter. So in the end, for me, today was a lesson in not looking at my profit and loss on the day. If you ask me, how are you going to end up today? The bell rings. So it's 4 o'clock. How did you end up today? I would have said, X dollars. And in reality, it was 3 times more than that. And I had no idea because I took a bunch of trades. I flipped it 8 different times. But, you want to be paying attention if you're red. If you're losing trades, you want to stay on top of it and don't have that happen in the opposite direction. But there are many times where, I'll see a trade and, oh, I'm up this much. I like that profit number, and I sell based on the dollar amount and not what the charts are saying. And so today was strictly charts, nothing to do with the dollar amount. I knew I was green. That's all I need to know. And that is a good lesson for me because I don't do that enough. But what I'm looking for is either a bull break tomorrow of 358.64 with zero follow through to add back, or fail that level and then see if the bears can confirm an hourly downtrend into daily consolidation. But need the NASDAQ's help. And even as the NASDAQ was dropping today, Tesla had a considerable amount of relative strength the majority of the day until we did finally roll over midday. Crypto stocks. So this was, I won't say it was an easy laggard play, but it was easy to know to be looking for Bitcoin and crypto to be a laggard. And I say that just because the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ has been in a blue sky euphoria run for a while now, months and months and months. Bitcoin was just a long drawn out bull flag. And, very likely that Bitcoin was going to see an all-time high joining the broader market. And so now these stocks, coin over the last 4 days, the gain in the last 4 days of 70% is essentially one of the biggest 4-day gains that you'll be able to find on this chart. It's the market saying, here we go, and then just piling in. And, 3-month uptrend confirmed, all-time high back on the table. MSTR is the lead bull in blue sky breakout. Bitcoin just put on an absolute show over the weekend and into today. Altcoins as well. A bunch of the altcoins went up, 80%, 50 to 80% the last week. So it's just the euphoria seeping out into all these markets. And again, it's backburners. Bitcoin, 15-minute. Pull up our TCG backburners. 15-minute, boom. Best entry you could get. 15-minute oversold into continuation over 10%. 15-minute oversold, you get the idea. Backburners are working. They were designed for a euphoria blue sky market, and it's beautiful to see it continue. And I'm going to be looking for daily higher lows in all of these names. Bitcoin, MSTR, coin. We're going to look for hourly oversold to look for daily higher lows eventually. Some of these miners finally getting bull moves. Still a lot of work to do, but euphoria. XLV not doing much. Who cares? I'm sick. I'm not going through puberty. XLV not doing anything. Watching for a monthly higher low eventually. Again, set a monthly higher low in XLV when it's time for one of these other major sectors to pull back. And it's just that continued rotation. XLF, little bull flag, sideways trading into continuation, new all-time highs, bulls in absolute complete control. IWM, all-time highs adjusted for the dividend. Unadjusted for the dividend is the only level left, 244.46. But again, extremely strong. No red flags. And it's just rotation. IWM getting some love for the first time in a long time while semis are pulling back. I haven't looked at this chart, but I know what it's doing. IWM divided by SMH, longer term bottom trying to form. So this is semiconductors absolutely destroying IWM for decades. For decades, a decade plus. And this is a longer term bottom, Adam and Eve type of deal, trying to form for a shift. This is the monthly perspective. Are we about to see IWM outperform semiconductors for a few months? Maybe. Worth keeping an eye on that year-long high. 10-month high. 9-month high. Biotech sector, gotta hold this back test. This 103 zone, 4-hour higher low, needs to be set. Bulls need to be green tomorrow. Otherwise, it's a red flag if we fall back down under 103s. And then we'll look for a daily higher low eventually, but bulls really want to hold those 103s after finally getting over them to multiple year highs. But it's still not performing ideally, just in terms of getting a breakout and follow through. So anything that's not doing that, as long as the broader market stays strong, you keep extra attention on it for it to try and be a laggard. Uranium name, CCJ, trying to shape up a daily inverse head and shoulders for a weekly higher low. So I'm going to keep an eye out. I'm going to be looking for a spot where I say that's either the weekly high or low or I'm wrong. Smaller cap uranium names, OKLO. Still looks fine on the daily with EMA 12 support. SMR ended last week with an all-time high. Daily inside bar today. Still tons of volatility there. Again, just look at the bulls by the dip. 15-minute oversold into V-shape. We're dropping here a bit after hours, but just a V-shape 15% move. 5-minute stair step would have a long at 21.87. We don't hit a new low of the day from that point, and we go up 12%. Buy dips until they stop working in this market. The dollar's still strong. Coming up on our key resistance zone, 106s. Daily uptrend hour guide. These are monthly resistances coming into play. Again, I think the metals are rolling over a bit. Gold is due for monthly consolidation. Potentially closing under weekly EMA 12 here, but long way to go on the week. 9-month stair step. Monthly consolidation is inevitable. Silver, weekly head and shoulders watch. I did a great job exiting my metal miners position, but not my silver position. So I will be scouting an exit next weekly bounce. May even trim some next daily bounce. Just a shift in focus. All right, metals have been running. Gold's been running for 9 months. Bitcoin just started running. I mean, look at gold. Look at Bitcoin divided by gold. And it is a monthly cup and handle trying to confirm. So this is Bitcoin outperforming gold. Now it's gold's time to shine for 6 months. Now it's Bitcoin's turn again. It's just money rotating around in the market. Where's it going? Where's it leaving? That's why I'm always talking about rotation. Follow the money. Oil weekly lower high set. It's all about 66.72 at this point. If that holds, we'll have a weekly equilibrium to be keeping an eye on. Overall, the burden of proof is on the oil bulls because we've been setting monthly lower highs for the last 7 months. And that's it. Get your wish list. What names are you scouting daily high or lows on? The most likely scenario on strong names. Use your back burners. Protect your trades. Don't just blindly buy. We still have our trade game plans and all that. But buy dips until it stops working. Look for laggards and rotation until it stops working. When will it stop working? When all major sectors are dropping and hitting lows together and we are not seeing rotation, and we can clearly say this market environment is different. But until that happens, the market environment is the same. Do good things. We'll see you soon.